Peace, blessings, and enough love. I do apologize. We not seeing the mic here is saying it's okay, but the mic down here is saying that it is not okay. So let us just ensure that everyone can hear us. One, two, three. If Queen Joan, can you hear us? Anyone can hear us? Anyone? Anyone hearing us? Hear us? Joan? Anyone? One, two, three. Can you hear us? Yes, no? YouTube, can you hear
Can you
us?
hear us?
Anyone on YouTube, can you hear us? Yes, no, maybe so, because we're not sure if anyone can hear us. Uh, Queen Debbie McCormick, can you hear us?
Just give us a
Not
thumbs up.
Queen Joan, you can hear us? You can hear? Okay. All right. All right. Wonderful. Okay, thank you very much. Peace, blessings, enough love, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Monday.
So today is another day for our series of Abundance in Love. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope today was a productive day or a wonderful play day for those who are on vacation. And we are here again looking at abundance in love with the slant of mindfulness. I know for so many persons that the holiday season is a time of sadness for some, a time where longing for the companionship of family, of friends, and you may be way in another country or your friends and family are away from you. So today we are going to look at how mindfulness can help in dealing with that aspect and also bring some amount of strength to relationship, being present. So whether the person is in the room or you're speaking on the phone or you are talking on Zoom, being present makes a world of a difference.
Almost definitely, because you have to be in the conversation in order to be a part of the conversation and also be a part of what you are doing. Because if you are present there in body, but you are not present mentally and spiritually, but you are just there physically, you are still absent. And so it is very important that mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts is very important in whatever you are there present for. And so that is the topic we are going to be touching on this evening, this wonderful um, Monday Monday evening Eastern Standard Time, because it's different in other area of the globe. All right. And so we thank you all very much. Those that are on YouTube, those that are here um, on the meeting platform, right? All the queens and the kings that are here present. We just want to thank you and welcome you for joining us this wonderful Monday evening.
And if you're on YouTube and you want to chime in as the conversation continues, you can actually jump on, because both links are there. So you can just go on the Meet In link. And if you're on your phone, you may have to download Meet In. If you're on your computer, you just click the link and you'll be able to access the platform.
Wonderful.
So,
And so, mindfulness.
yes.
Mhm.
What were you saying?
Mindfulness.
Uh, um,
Fully present and aware of your thoughts, feeling, bodily sensations, and surroundings without judgment.
if you notice, what while he was talking, I'm asking him a question, but I was doodling on my phone. So whatever he was saying did not resonate because I was paying attention to something else.
Oh my, oh mercy. Is that bad or good?
Is that bad or good?
That's bad.
I think so too.
Because then the mindfulness of being present wasn't there.
Correct.
Because that is one of the attributes, being present in whatever is happening, whether it's a conversation or or something else. You the first thing is that you have to be present.
Now, when I was growing up,
Hmm.
if one of my peers or one of my siblings was speaking with me and I really don't want to hear what they're saying, I would do something. I would do something like na 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 na. But as we grow older, as adults, we realize we can be right there with the person. We can be looking at them, but
Mm.
we are looking through them.
Mm.
We're not engaged in whatever they're saying. So it is so important that being present
Hmm.
is a very important ingredient in any
Mm.
relationship, in every relationship. So
Hmm.
let's look at mindfulness. As Derrick just said, mindfulness is the practice of Derrick. Mindfulness is the practice
Hmm.
of being fully present and aware of your thoughts,
Hmm.
feelings,
Mm.
bodily sensations, and surroundings without judgment. It involves consciously focusing on the present moment rather than dwelling in the past, worrying about the future.
Mm.
Mindfulness is so important. It's it's a technique that can include guided meditation, body scans, and simply just daily activities. And this can be used to manage stress, anxiety, and mental health challenges.
Oh mercy. Wow.
Just a little note here. As a caregiver, there are so many times, because we get so caught up in dealing with our the persons we're taking care of,
Hmm.
we forget about, we just go through the motions, we just
Mm.
autopilot, because we know what we need to do. We know we need to do this first, this second, this third. And because of having those things done on a constant basis, we just go on autopilot. So there is really no mindfulness in it.
Mm.
And being mindful or being present can help to sustain, can help to deepen relationships.
Mm.
It can help you to see things you did not see before because you are present. So
Hmm.
if you are distracted and not being mindful, you'll be doing one thing and thinking about something else. And so you will not get the real essence of what you are doing, what
Hmm.
you're helping with, or being or staying in the moment. You may leave that moment thinking about the moment you did not capitalize
Mm.
on, and doing something else, and
Hmm.
then you say, oh, I didn't do that, or
Wow.
what did I do before? So being mindful, it helps you to stay present. It helps you to be be thoughtful. It helps you to Be there while you're doing whatever you're doing
Hmm.
and having a relationship. It goes right back to relationship. It's build mindfulness helps to build lasting relationship.
Relationships. Wonderful. You mentioned something about meditation. How does meditation now get involved with the whole aspect of mindfulness? I'm not too seeing that really and truly.
Well, there I remember when we were growing up,
Hmm.
the prevalence of children having different disorders. It was
Hmm.
not that prevalent. We did not know the name. There was no name on our side.
Hmm.
Of course, we're from Jamaica, so there are a lot of things that we are now privy to or we are aware of now, but those things did not have a name.
Mm.
Um, Easily get distracted, uh, not paying attention. The attention span is very limited in
Mm.
school with for whatever, for everything. Now, while I was growing up, I remembered um my mom, she's a avid avid learner, though she did not go to school past, I think, second grade,
Mm.
but
Oh
she
wow.
knew the Bible from back to front because we read it to her and she memorized it. And
Hmm.
whenever we're having any challenges
Mm.
as young children, well, for me, because I was with my mom and dad until I was 9 years old. Then I went to live with my uncle. I was
Mm.
adopted by my uncle.
Hmm.
So for the little that I remember while I was with my mother, when we get up in the morning,
Hmm.
we had a time that we say our prayers, we say our Father prayer, and then
Hmm.
we have a little time that she would I can remember she used to pray with me, and
Mm.
those are things that I grew up with. Whenever I am feeling a certain way, even at school,
Hmm.
for a few minutes, I just close my eyes and I remember some of the things, some of the verses she used to say. The Lord is my shepherd. And I
Mm.
repeat that umpteen times,
Hmm.
and it helps me to relax,
Wow.
and then I jumped back in what I was doing. I remembered being bullied in school and just
What? Pretty girl?
taking myself away mentally. I remembered those things that she always help us with.
Hmm.
So I memorized some of those scripture verses and some other things that as I grow older, it helps to relieve stress
Hmm.
of the day-to-day activities.
Mm.
So meditation is very important. That's what I grew up on. And as a Christian,
Hmm.
as soon as I am aware that I'm awake, that's the
Hmm.
first thing that I do, to meditate on the word of God. And you know what? I think as soon as I'm aware that I'm awake, is as
Mm.
there's a song on my lips.
Hmm.
So I know for a lot of persons, meditation is, they say, what is meditation? Meditation is just allowing yourself to be present.
Hmm.
And for me as a Christian, I allow the word of God to speak to me, or I repeat certain verses that resonate with me.
Mm.
And so it helps to relax. It helps me to be present. It helps me to stay focused.
Hmm.
And it also helps to diffuse some of the stresses of life that will that would have caused someone to pull away
Mm.
or cause us to go in a depressive state.
Okay, okay. All right. So meditation is good for mindfulness.
Mhm.
Okay, wonderful.
And
In
I'm
that.
gonna be sharing at least one way to do guided meditation. There are so many different things on YouTube, on social media. But one thing I want to caution,
Hmm.
when you're talking about guided meditation, they say you become who you hang around. So you have to be careful who you're accepting guided meditation from, because
Hmm.
if it's not based on your philosophy, then it can lead
Be
you.
harmful.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. My goodness. Okay, so there you have it. Be careful of where and who is getting you into meditation, because it can be very harmful. Okay. Well, as Bible believers, we do meditate on the word. And so the thought that comes from the word, then that is where our meditation is. Then, other meditations that people do, you are going into that type of meditation, then you have to be aware of those type of meditation and what they entail. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
wonderful. So, what about the whole aspect now of the techniques that can be arrived or derived from meditation or from mindfulness?
You mean, okay, so there are many different techniques, and if you do research, you'd notice that it's a whole barrage of techniques.
Hmm.
But core components of mindfulness presents moment of awareness, paying attention to what is happening right now, both internally and externally. So being mindful and mindful meditation helps with mindfulness. So when I meditate in the mornings, and I'm going back to my personal experience, when I meditate in the mornings, I think about the goodness of God,
Mm,
because I know that I did not create myself. I know that I am connected to God, who is the source. So when I am aware that I'm awake in the morning, I say, Lord, I thank you for another day. Now, I don't say it openly at first. I just think about how good he is. When I look at the sky outside, I see how vast the sky is and little me over this whole big sky.
mm,
Then I'm saying in my mind, God, you are wonderful.
okay.
And then I think of so many things that I could look at the sky, whatever is happening. Now, that's me.
Yeah, so what I'm to, since that's you, but what I'm to, the two-thirds of persons who don't believe in God, so to speak, because especially when you talk about the 1040 window, then that is a whole plethora of different belief from a godly belief. So how would you convey such a message of mindfulness to the other two-thirds of the world?
Well, a simple way that I would convey is by using one of the very simple meditation techniques.
Hmm.
And this one I found on YouTube. It talks about sitting in a quiet place or lying in a quiet place. You can sit or lie.
Mm,
And then you start thinking about close your eyes. It's best if the place is quiet. Just close your eyes and start thinking about what you're grateful for.
hmm. Okay.
Now, once you start thinking about what you're grateful for,
Hmm.
it opens up a whole world of, I guess you start smiling, because you'll now realize, I have a lot of things to be grateful for, more
Mm,
than the
mm,
things I don't have.
mm,
So that's a simple way. And this meditation does not take a long time, because if you only have few minutes, say a minute or so, you pull yourself away from the everything that you're doing. You
mm,
can go to the bathroom. Now, I let me tell you a little secret.
mm,
When I was taking care of my mother-in-law,
mm.
and
Okay.
my while I was doing the care, sometimes because you get caught up in the whole mix of things, you
Mm-hmm.
forget about yourself. So pulling myself away, going to the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom was like my
Sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Oh,
So I would
nice,
take that
nice.
little
Okay.
time, because once I go to the bathroom, that's the time that I have for me. So I would sit there for the 2, 3 minutes, and I would just meditate.
Mm,
Another wonderful time for me is when I'm in the shower. When I'm in the shower, oh my goodness, that's when I get some wonderful downloads, because the water is running, and
mm,
a lot of persons know that I love water.
mm-hmm.
So whether it's the beach, whether it's the river, whether it's the shower, that's where I get so much.
Mm,
So that's the time I just give God thanks. When I think of the water running from head to toe,
mm,
and I said, "Oh my God." Then I just start talking, or just whispering something, or just thinking about walking on
mm-hmm.
the water.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are, as I said, there are so many forms of meditation, and I will give you a structured one, but that's me. That's my little rambling, but
Mm.
it works. It works wonders. It
One.
works wonders all the time.
Well, beautiful.
What about
Um,
you?
well, for me, yes, I do like to meditate myself. And yes, fortunately for me, I meditate on scriptures, because they have comforting, they have comforting, um, you know, help for me. Mhm. They have comforting help for me. And so when I meditate on the word, on scriptures, especially Psalms and Proverbs, the wise poetic persons, there are a lot of comforting, because listen, I remember that a lot of persons, are are depressed. A lot of persons have depression and depressed, and unfortunately, some even go as far as to commit suicide. And we hope that it doesn't result into that, because it's a process. It's a process to to get to that stage,
Hmm.
to get to depression. It's a process. And so we try to prevent. The preventative is always better than the curative. So as soon as maybe you start to feel lonely, or you start to feel sad, all right, um, try to do something, or to go somewhere that will bring you out of that sadness before the sadness take root, right? And so I change my environment, right? And of course think about the goodness, and the the reason that I'm alive, because I could be in the hospital. So because I'm not in the hospital, I am grateful,
Hmm.
right? I could be sick and have saline, and I had that at one point. I met in an accident, a truck accident, and I was pronounced dead twice, right?
Yeah, dead, they call him dead
Dead
and
and weak.
awake.
Yes, and I could slip into depression, because that really, is a status that I was in,
So you were
you
sad
know.
for a while.
So I was sad, right, that this happened to me, but I didn't stay there. All right, I was happy that I'm still alive, and I could still see people. I don't know if you did watch this movie, Face Off,
Mm-hmm.
with John Travolta
Mm-hmm.
and Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. The same thing. My face was literally off, right? And so I could have gone into depression,
Thank you.
you
Thank
know.
God that you have a face that I could look at.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it get back in color after a while, of course, because it was just like John Travolta or Nicolas Cage in that movie. All right. All you was seeing is tissue and blood, and epidermis gone,
Bleed.
dermis gone, and you're seeing whatever cartilage under there or whatever you see under there. I don't know. Right. And it was terrible, right? So I could have gone into depression, but what's the use, right? My great grandmother Dingy would normally say, when she was alive, of course, she would normally say, uh, if the milk spill, right, wipe it up, right? Don't cry over spilled milk, right? The milk is spilled, wipe it up, right? Because there's no way it can just magically get itself off the ground, right? So instead of standing there crying, which of course you are now sad to a state that you are now crying, the milk is still on the ground. The milk is still spilled. All right. So crying and sadness not going to get the milk off the ground. Okay.
But sadness is an emotion that something happened.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And of course, a feeling that you can choose to stay and go further and deeper into that emotion and into that feeling, but and so when 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 mindfulness when mindfulness come into play, then it activates a non-judgmental observation,
But let
right?
me ask you something,
Mm-hmm,
because I've known of persons who are sad,
mm-hmm,
but they don't someone else have to see that they need help and try to help them. They don't see it for themselves,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because this lady, she was sad for a long time.
mm-hmm. Well,
And
well, I was going to tell you,
okay.
that that will be because she's in it for a long time.
Okay.
She's already in a process where she's so far gone now at that stage that that she don't even think that she's sad anymore.
Mhm.
So yes, that's what you are describing. I
Okay.
I try to get it. I try to get the situation long before you reach that stage, right? So as I feel the feeling of sadness even coming on, because you're going to feel it.
Yeah, because it's an emotion that
Yeah,
something
that you
is wrong.
know, but when you are now into it, for a period of time, and I mean the period of time is different, right? Is different it's different based on who you are, right? Everybody takes things differently, so it's based on you as an individual, and so we I try to ensure that I don't go down into that feeling very long
Hmm.
to get into depression, because it doesn't start depression don't start there, with sadness. It's prolonged sadness that goes into depression.
Right. Or prolonged crisis.
Yes,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
crisis,
Yes.
because it's a mental status
Yeah.
that you know incur, and that little sadness that you had first, right? And you know, maybe it was the loss of a loved one, or how whatever triggers that sadness. All right, you keep yourself in that sadness or in that status for a long period of time, and so therefore, right, it becomes depression.
And for some people, they're able to get over that hurdle by themselves. But for the
Mhm,
most part,
mhm,
most people need intervention, need a family member, or need persons who are learned or experienced to help them deal with the road out, because
mhm,
as you express, it's prolonged sadness or prolonged abuse that leads to that sad state that then it becomes chronic. So just as how it was over time, it's not you just not gonna snap your finger and you get out of it,
mhm,
because
mhm.
you walk that road for a long time. And so if you know of a family member or yourself, we know we don't want you to be alone. We don't want you to handle this by yourself, because we need you here to experience what God has created you for.
Mm,
He did not create you to stay in a prolonged state of sadness. All of these emotions God created that we can feel them
mm.
and we can get help. So before the year ends, we're gonna be having someone who will share how you can get out of this long spiral that someone may have gone into.
Well, that is why we are talking about mindfulness, because first of all, as we looked at the core components of mindfulness. It suggests to us that first of all we need to acknowledge that our thoughts and our feelings, right, are just that, thoughts and feelings. Let us not try to label it, because that is when we start to think of it in a positive and a negative, right? So when we label our feelings as being good feelings or bad feelings in that perspective, most of the time people are leaned towards the bad, because they think they should feel bad at this time because my loved one is has departed, or whatever the situation is. But let us not label it. Let us look at this mindfulness as, first of all, non-judgmental, right? Because if you were in a fist fight,
Mhm.
would you punch yourself?
No.
No, nobody would punch themselves. But unfortunately, a lot of people punch themselves with words. A lot of people punch themselves with words. I am not good enough. I am not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. I am not well educated, or all of these things, punching yourself.
But that's big, and we go right back to that could be a
Hmm.
prolonged thing that's been happening from childhood. And so they say children live what they learn.
Hmm.
So being being around that environment and hearing those things,
Hmm.
it,
Hmm.
it, it it's not easy to pull away from that. That's why those persons would need
Hmm.
help, would need
Hmm. Hmm.
intervention,
Yeah.
because it's not like you can just take your bag and just run out of the
Situation.
situation.
Hmm.
It's a long walk.
Yes. That is true.
Constant, yeah.
That is true. But the first step would be acceptance.
Yes.
You would need to at least accept your experiences, accept your situation, accept what you are going through, right? You accept, right? As they are, without trying to change them in a moment, because it took a long time to reach there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to take a long time to come back out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like a physical observation. If a person get lung cancer, so to speak, right? um I am sure, and it was due to smoke, and it was due to smoke. I can get lung cancer other ways, but it was due to smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been smoking for 20, 30, 35, 40 years. A lot of people just want the doctor to just, do one surgery, boom, bam, bim, boom, boom, and their lung cancer is over.
No, they can get a new lung. A lung they get a transplant.
Well, even if you get a lung transplant, because now you have two things to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know, you have a long road ahead to know retrain that lung also into good habits,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even though, yes, you have the money and the resources, and boom, bam, you get a brand spanking new heart, lungs, and it takes what the surgery might take 18, 16, 18, whatever hours, okay, to do, and boom, right? The recovery is might not be as long if you're dealing with the whole heart, whole lungs. Why I keep saying heart? The whole lungs. It might not be as long, but it's still going to take a little while. So
Long time.
anyway you take it, the recovery is going to take a little while.
Yeah, because it takes a while to get
Get there.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna look at how, especially during the holiday season,
Mm.
how we can help each other stay mindful, how we can help each other with a little meditation, or how we can help each other stay present,
Mm.
stay conscious,
Mm.
and in as much as you may not have the persons around who normally make the holiday for you happy, you
Mm-hmm.
can still have joy. You can still have some wholeness during this time of the year.
Mm. Okay.
So let's start thinking that what normally may how how is your day normally,
Mm-hmm.
or what is it that allow you to get up? Because if you lose a significant person in your family, I know every time you want to get up, it comes right back in your face.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it that will help you to get through your day? Let's start with one day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with an hour. So if you take these things in bite sizes, like we talk about mindfulness, what do you do when you get up in the mornings? What do you do throughout the day?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you incorporate meditation
Mm-hmm.
in your day, you'll be so surprised how helpful it is throughout the day. Just the 5 minutes, or for some people, I remember this young lady shared with me, she does her meditation in the morning when
Mm-hmm.
she gets up before everything start clouding her mind.
Mm.
She meditates, and that helps her, that even if there is a bad part of the day or a bad experience, it does not damage her entire day because of the intention that was set initially as she woke up.
Okay.
Another young lady, this other guy, he said that he likes to do it, although he prays, but he likes to do it at the end of the day. It's like he took an inventory of the entire day and then he meditate. What could I have done better? And then he thinks of what good was done throughout the day and then give thanks.
Nice.
So these are little things that others have used and they have gone through challenging circumstances. One of the persons I'm talking about lost a child, then lost a mother, then lost her mother, and then so many different pieces that you have to pick up. But I know for a lot of persons, you cannot do it on your own. So there are resources out there for persons who are working and you have insurance, health insurance. That's one aspect of health insurance. That's part of the package. So seek that out because there's help. Don't suffer in silence when you can be helped and you can return to wholeness so you can become a viable citizen.
Wonderful. Just let me read a few things that um, our viewers are saying, and that is uh, Nancy. Nancy is saying, what is this? Meditation is very important to our lives. When we wake up in the morning, you take a couple minutes to meditate with God, aware that bad things will come and to you, but you already have mindset to overcome. Yes, and that is what I am really advocating for. Let us try to have a mindset that will prevent, because prevention is better, always better than the cure, right?
And when you talk about prevent, we're not talking about we can prevent the bad experience that may come because there are some things we have no control over, but we have control over how we respond
How we
to the
respond. Okay.
experiences that we go through.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. So how we respond to them, because life is about 20% what happened to you and 80% how you respond, right? How you actually deal with it. And so let us focus on how we respond to things, because that is what um, allow us to either have a long sadness about something or a short sadness about something, because sadness is not depression, right? Sadness is not depression. Prolonged sadness leads to depression. So depression don't come to us. No, we don't get depressed. No, it doesn't work that way, right? It's long, prolonged sadness sitting with that milk on the floor over a long period of time that now leads into depression. Okay, so whether you are depressed or you're not depressed, it's really a, as simple as that. It's really a choice. All right. So let us recognize that we can we can advocate quickly if we so desire, not to get into that depressive state. Choose And that is why the word says to choose this day whom you will serve. Are you going to serve sadness, or are you going to serve joy? Or let joy be your leader? Or are you going to make sadness be your leader? Yes, the thing might be overwhelming, the thing might be devastating, all right? And we are not telling you that you are not to grieve. We are not telling you that. We are not telling you that you're not to be sad. No. But just be careful of the length of sadness, because that is what leads to depression.
And we are also asking for people who are around, people who are closely connected, pay attention, because you can be part of the solution by finding help for those persons who you see, because sometimes they start getting withdrawn.
Mm.
You know that that's not how that person was. You
Hmm.
find out, are you okay? If they say yes, still find, seek help, because we may not be experienced in that way. We say, okay, they're fine.
Hmm.
But if you see that person, oh, I don't like that. That's not how she was. That's not how he normally operates.
Hmm.
Then you could ask someone who is experiencing that field certain questions, and to see if something is happening. So you seek help for that person. And it's very important, as whether it's friends or it's family, we don't go around spreading rumor or spreading news, but go to the source that they can be helped.
Hmm.
Go to the source that they can be helped.
Beautiful. And you have many sources, right? You can also be involved in structured programs, right? Because one of the detriments, I should say, one of the detriments of getting into depression is being alone.
Mhm.
When you're alone, right? So you don't have anyone around you. You lock up in your room, or lock up in the bathroom, or whatever it is, right? Um, Involved with structured program, right? Just like how you have persons who are alcoholic, they get involved with a structured program.
Mhm.
Not calling anyone alcoholic now. It's just an example. Structured program is something that we find that help with a good mindful base stress reduction, right?
So it takes you through different stages. It gives you bite sizes, how to deal with a particular day, how
Mhm.
to deal with a particular situation,
Mm,
and then it opens up more. So these are things that can help, and we are here for each other.
mhm,
We were created to operate
mhm,
in an era of gifting.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm,
so none of us have everything.
mhm,
That's the reason we need each other.
mm,
And all of us do not go through the same seasons at the same time.
mhm,
That's the reason why we can bounce off each other, because one
mhm,
person may be hurting in a particular way. And here I am now whole, so I can be there. I have the experience, the expertise
mhm,
to help that person. Sometimes we have the experience, but we don't have the expertise. So it's very important we don't take on something that we have we don't take on things that we have no expertise in, though we may have had experience. We may
mm,
have gone through something,
mhm,
and yes, we have the experience, and somebody comes up and you start giving them diagnosis, but you don't have the expertise.
Hmm.
So you have the experience. You say, I've gone through something and I got help. So direct them to where they can get good help, expert help, and not you taking it on because it may pull you down at the same time.
Mm, mercy. Wonderful. So let us quickly, before little time runs out. I tell you, the time just move like lightning speed. Well, let us look quickly at benefits of mindfulness. It improve mental health because that is where sadness is going to take us. Sadness is going to take us into depression, which is a mental status, not necessarily that you are crazy and Mr. Agra Irons need to come and scrape you up off the ground. Uh, no, we're not talking about that really, but benefits. It improve mental health. Mindfulness can help in managing stress. It's,
So,
mm,
yes, true.
mm, mm. Especially if you have a stressful job. I think teaching is not a stressful job.
All jobs can be stressful depending on what you're doing at the particular time.
Oh,
That's why meditation is one of the excellent way
mm.
to
To
return to
return to
mindfulness.
mindfulness. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So managing your stress, managing your anxiety, managing negative thoughts,
And
uh,
negative thought
and
patterns.
negative thought patterns. Thank you very much, my dear. Right? Managing these things instead of just letting them go. I have never, in all my few days on the face of the planet,
How much days that is?
a lot,
Okay.
I have never seen a tail wag a dog. Never. I
Hmm?
don't know if you maybe see that. You ever see that before?
A tail
A
wag a
tail
dog.
wag a dog. You ever see that before?
No.
No, I've seen a dog wag a tail. All right, that's what I see. All right, so don't allow a small part of your whole being control you. Right? I've never seen a wagon dragging a horse. All right, no, the life, the energy is the horse. Right? Um, so don't allow things to dictate your direction.
Don't allow things to dictate your direction.
Oh my.
Allow your mind to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
And please, if you're in situations and you realize you can't get out, seek help. And
Mm.
friends, family, some people may not see it, but if you see it, if you have a wind of it, if you just have an idea, find out, get help for your friends, get help for your family, because we want them to be around in 2026.
Mm.
We
Right.
want to see them do what God has created them to do. We
Mm-hmm.
want to see them be what God has created them to be.
B.
We
Mm.
want them around because we are not here for ourselves. We are here to help each other.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. That's great. And so there, and so therefore, right? Greater another 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 benefit is greater emotional regulation. It teaches not to react automatically to our thoughts or to our feelings, but to respond more thoughtfully.
Hmm.
Hmm?
That means we think before
We
we,
act. You see, with great grandmother Dingy was on point.
but sometimes
Hmm.
the impulse, it's very
Hmm.
impulsive. Because if a pin joke you, the first thing you're going to do is flash your hand.
Well, yes, yes, yes.
But then once you know that pin joke you, then you say, how can I stop the blood?
Mm-hmm.
So you go into decision making at that
Mm,
time.
mm-hmm.
So respond more thoughtfully.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, right? Because you just stay there, wallowing in what you are
Going through.
going through. Beautiful, right? And so increase well-being, increase well-being.
That's the benefit of
Benefits, still
mindfulness.
on benefits, by helping people become more engaged in the present, right? Pass your past. Whatever happened to you is in the past, even if it's 5 minutes ago. Hmm. What? Yes, even if it's 2 minutes ago, it's a past. Even if it's a minute ago, it's a past. Okay. If it is negative, leave it alone. Stay in the present. All right. Yes, you might have to be dealing with it, because your rent due. So it's something, the past date has gone, right? Maybe 5, 10 days ago. But you have to deal with it. No. So don't wallow in that past date. Look at ways now that you can deal with it. And one of the first ways, especially for Christians, right, is to pray. Right? Sometimes we run to Sister Sue and run to Brother Joe, and if you don't mind, sharp, Brother Joe or Sister
True.
Sue, is
Having the same
using it.
difficulty.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no. We're not even talking
oh,
about that.
oh, using it
Using
as
it
a
as
table
as
talk.
a as a not a table, not even table talk. Use it as a big whip
Mhm.
over your head, right? And that's sometimes that's not good, right? That gives you more problem and more stress and more anxiety, right? So first, table it. As Christians, especially, table it to God. All right. And so when you increase your well-being, by helping people to become more engaged in the present, mindfulness can lead to greater appreciation
Appreciation,
for the ordinary and increase overall
overall
happiness.
happiness.
All right. And that's where we want to reach, the overall happiness, not in the sadness of this situation, right? Not in the sadness of this circumstance, but we're talking about, um, the overall happiness of your well-being.
And if we look at just to tie in or summarize
Mm-hmm,
what you
mm-hmm,
just said, if we go to, is it Ecclesiastes 3?
mm-hmm.
Is it 3? To everything there
Oh,
is a
yes, season.
season and a
Mm-hmm.
time for every
Everything
purpose
under
under
the
the
sun.
yes.
Mm-hmm,
So if you're sad this moment,
mm-hmm,
just remember that after sadness come happiness, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you're never stuck in one season because everything has a season.
Mm.
We are not finished with this topic, but we will pause right here. I hope that something that is said is very helpful
Mm-hmm.
and you can come back next week where we may be continuing on this because we want people to enjoy what is left of the year. We want people to go through each day. We're not going to hold our breath and say we're waiting for 2026 to come, but we want to enjoy what is left of the year. We want to continue to enjoy every single day because is it Psalm 118 verse 24 said this is the day.
that the Lord
that the
has
Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So we want to be obedient
made. Hmm.
to
Hmm.
what the word of God says. We will rejoice every single day we get. It's a day to rejoice. In spite of what we are going through, it's a day to rejoice.
Rejoice. Mm.
And rejoice is just joy again,
Mm.
joy all over again.
Mm.
So if God allows me to wake up tomorrow, I know you may be bawling if I don't wake up, but if God allows me to wake up tomorrow, it's another day to joy again.
Mm. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much, especially Queen Nancy. You said amazing topic. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for your comments and statements. Everyone who did make comments and statements in the various chats. Really appreciate all of you. And thank you very much for coming out. Really enjoy everyone. And next week is another wonderful Mindset Monday. Please come out. Please, if you are on the YouTube, just hit that subscribe and hit notification all and share with your family members and friends.
And we are allowing you to come on Meet In, that you can meet with us and chat with us. You can share your views. You just come on the Meet In platform that you can talk.
Mm,
So this is a forum that we will help. It's the season to share
share.
and just share. Come on and talk. We want
Wonderful.
to hear what you have to
So
say.
just before we leave, if anyone want to say something, especially those that are on meeting platform, you can just raise your hand and we will acknowledge you if you want to say something, ask a question, or make a comment. Anyone five, anyone four, anyone three, anyone two, anyone one. All right, wonderful. So we thank you all for being here and thank you for your presence here on the meeting platform and also on the varied YouTube channels.
Once again, this is Miriam Edwards for another episode of Mindset Monday.
All right, thank you all for coming. You have a blessed, wonderful rest of your week.